dead people, people are registered 2 or 3 times, and so forth. So why would the Obama administration, why would Democrats not want to clean the voter lists, clean them up? The whole point of voter ID is the last step, the last effort before somebody votes to ensure that the voter is who he or she says they are, and to ensure that they have a right to vote. And any effort to establish such a process or to defend such a process that's already in a state has been called racist, Jim Crow, literacy test, poll taxes, you name it. So there is no doubt, there is no question, this election, past elections, that the Democrat Party believes it's in its best interest, the left believes it's in its best interest to have as much as possible that cannot be checked, to have as many voter lists as possible that are filled with errors. And so the question is why? And the answer is simple. Because they cheat. That's why. You don't have Republicans suing Democrat governors against voter ID laws. So let's get into some of this. Because if you listen to the media and the establishment, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It is a big deal. Now, the Pew Center on the States. This is an objective organization. PewTrusts.org. Just a few years ago, took a look at this. Inaccurate, costly, and inefficient. Evidence that America's voter registration system needs an upgrade. Our democratic process requires an effective system for maintaining an accurate voter registration list. Voter registration lists are used to assign precincts, send sample ballots, provide polling place information, identify and verify voters at polling places, and determine how resources, such as ballots and voting machines, are deployed on election day. But these systems are plagued with errors and inefficiencies that waste taxpayer dollars, undermine voter confidence, and fuel partisan disputes over the integrity of our elections. Now, they have found approximately 24 million, 1 out of every 8 voter registrations in the United States are no longer valid or are significantly inaccurate. Hello, hello, hello. Let me repeat that. Approximately 24 million, 1 out of every 8 voter registrations in the United States are no longer valid or are significantly inaccurate. More than 1.8 million deceased individuals are listed as voters. Hello! More than 1.8 million deceased individuals are listed as voters. Approximately 2.75 million people have registrations in more than one state. What do you think of that? And so, what's being done about it? Well, damn little. Damn little. This is pretty remarkable. 12 million records contain an inaccurate address. 12 million records contain an inaccurate, an incorrect address. That's a big deal, I would think, don't you? Now, let's get into this a little bit. Is the system rigged? Well, if the federal government and state governments, particularly blue state governments, won't fix these voter lists, if there's constant litigation by scores of left-wing organizations to prevent voter ID laws to ensure that the people who are voting are the people who are allowed to vote, and if federal officials, including attorneys general, including the President of the United States, including the top officials in the Democrat Party, insist that any effort to ensure that the franchise is exercised legitimately is racist, then let me ask you, if that's not at least in part rigged, then what's rigged? Well, the Democrats, for one, think everything is rigged. Oh, they truly do. They think everything's rigged, and we know this. Our friends at the Washington Free Beacon put this together. Take a listen. 17, go.
The thing that has most animated this election on the Democratic side has been the sense of a rigged system. The game is rigged against them.
So there's a sense the game is rigged. This is what a rigged economy is about.
A rigged system.
They'll do anything to rig the system to most of the time.
The game is rigged against a lot of people who can sing the dead level to bed.
That the system is rigged.
People say the game is rigged.
It keeps the system rigged for those at the top.
The system is rigged.
Their obstruction is keeping a system that is rigged.
The game is rigged.
We must fix an economy in America that is rigged.
The game is rigged, and it's not right.
A rigged economy.
The game is rigged.
And the economy is rigged.
The American people know that the system is rigged against them.
The system rigged against the middle class.
Oh, I know. It is rigged. It's still rigged.
Too many people feel like the system is rigged.
People say the game is rigged. How the game is rigged.
Our economy is rigged.
People feel like the system is rigged against them. And here's the painful part. They're right.
You know, the system, folks, is rigged. It's a rigged system. Oh, that's so un-American. So according to the Democrats, the vote is rigged. The economy's rigged. Taxes are rigged. The government's rigged. And you don't see squat. You don't hear a damn thing about criticism. You have proof? Where's your proof? Where's your proof? And yet this is what we hear all day today when it comes to Donald Trump. I just laid out to you horrendous statistics by an independent, objective think tank, Pew Trusts, who went through an enormous amount of data and other information that is provided by government, among others, and concluded that there are millions and millions and millions of so-called voters on so-called voting rolls who are dead, who have inaccurate information, inaccurate addresses, were registered in more than one state, etc., etc. Now, notice when the Secretary of DHS was talking about, in effect, nationalizing our elections through the back door because of cybersecurity concerns, where most of these state officials, secretaries of state, said, no, we can handle that. You can't even handle it.